Have you ever wondered whether a woman is thinking about you far more than she lets on? Most men assume that if a woman is interested, she will make it obvious. They expect clear signals, direct words, or unmistakable music actions. But attraction rarely works that way. More often, it appears through body language, music, small movements, quiet reactions, tiny behaviors that seem unimportant until you understand what they really mean. The truth is that when a woman is thinking about you, her body often reveals it long before she ever says a word. My name is Teal Swan, and on Music, this channel we explore female psychology, attraction, relationships, and the hidden patterns that shape human connection. Today, I'm going to share 9 powerful signs that show she's thinking about you and even fantasizing about you more than you realize. These are not random habits or meaningless gestures. They are psychological music indicators that you have captured her attention and entered her private thoughts in a way most men never recognize. Music. The reason this matters is because many men completely miss these signs. They assume a woman is simply being friendly. They dismiss behaviors that actually music reveal curiosity, attraction, and emotional focus. Because of that, they miss opportunities, music, to build deeper and more meaningful connections. Once you learn how to recognize these music signals, everything starts to look different. You stop guessing. You stop wondering where you stand. You begin noticing what her body, music, is communicating, even when her words remain careful. Stay with me until the end, music. Because sign number 9 is the one women struggle the most to control. Music. And it often reveals exactly what they are feeling when they think nobody else can see it. The first sign is that she becomes noticeably restless when you are around. This is one of the most overlooked indicators of attraction, music, because the behavior often looks completely harmless. A woman may not be staring at you, music flirting openly, or trying to get your attention in an obvious way. Instead, her body starts music, revealing the emotional energy she feels in your presence. When people experience attraction, their nervous system becomes more active. Music. They become more aware of themselves. They become more aware of the other person. That extra awareness often shows up through small music physical movements. She may adjust her bracelet several times during a conversation. She might play with a ring, straighten her watch, smooth out her clothes, or tap music her fingers against a table without realizing she's doing it. Some women shift their music weight from one foot to the other. Others keep adjusting their posture as though they are trying to find music the perfect position. What makes this sign interesting is that the movements often appear music only when the person they are attracted to is nearby. The behavior isn't random. Music is connected to the emotional stimulation she feels when you enter her space. Her body is trying to release some of that nervous energy while her mind is focused, music, on you. This becomes even more revealing when you compare her behavior around you to her behavior around other people. If she appears music calm and relaxed with everyone else, but suddenly becomes more restless when you join the conversation, pay attention. Music. That difference matters. Many men assume nervousness is a bad sign. Music. In reality, attraction and nervousness often travel together. When someone matters, people become more aware of how they look, how they sound, music, and how they are being perceived. That awareness creates energy, and that energy often shows up through music, these small physical behaviors long before attraction is ever spoken out loud. The second sign is that she starts playing with her hair when you are around. Music. This is one of the most common attraction signals women display, yet many men completely overlook it because it appears so ordinary. They assume she is simply fixing her appearance or dealing with a habit she has always had. Music. Sometimes that is true. But when hair touching consistently appears around a specific person, music, it often carries a deeper meaning. Hair plays a powerful role in attraction because it is closely connected to appearance, music confidence, and self-awareness. When a woman becomes conscious of how she looks music around someone, her hands often drift toward her hair without any deliberate intention. She music may twirl a strand around her finger while listening to you speak. She might run her fingers through it, brush it away from her face, music tuck it behind her ear, or flip it gently over one shoulder. The timing is what makes this sign music important. Pay attention to when it happens. Does she start touching her hair after making eye contact with you? Music. Does she do it more frequently when you are speaking directly to her? Does the behavior become more noticeable when the conversation, music, feels personal or emotionally engaging? These details matter because attraction is often revealed through patterns, music, rather than isolated actions. Hair touching can also be connected to nervous excitement. Music. Just as fidgeting helps release emotional energy, playing with hair can serve a similar purpose. It gives her body something to do while her attention is focused on you. Music. In many cases, she is not consciously trying to send a signal at all. The behavior happens naturally, music, because she has become more aware of your presence. But while hair can reveal attraction, music, the eyes, often reveal even more. That is where the next sign becomes impossible to ignore, because when a woman is truly interested, music, her attention has a way of returning to you again and again, even when she is trying not to make it obvious. The third sign is that her eyes keep finding their way back to you. People often, music, underestimate how much attraction is revealed through eye contact, but the eyes are one of the hardest parts of the body to control. A woman may carefully choose her words, music, hide her feelings, or act completely casual around you, yet her eyes often tell a very different story. When a woman is thinking music about you and feels drawn to you, she naturally pays more attention to you than she does to other people. Sometimes this appears as longer eye contact, music, during conversation. Instead of looking away quickly, she holds your gaze for an extra moment. It may only last a second or two, but it feels different, more focused. Music, more personal. In other situations, you might catch her looking at you when she thinks you are not paying attention. Music. The moment your eyes meet, she quickly looks away. Then a few minutes later, you notice it happening again. Music. These repeated glances are important because attention follows interest. People naturally look toward the things and people occupying their thoughts. Music. There is another detail many men miss. During a conversation, her eyes may briefly move from your eyes to your lips, music, before returning to your eyes again. This often happens so quickly that it goes unnoticed, but it can reveal a deeper level of attraction. Music. Her attention is no longer focused only on what you are saying. Part of her mind is imagining what it might feel like to, music, be closer to you. The longer attraction grows, the harder it becomes to hide through eye contact alone. Music. That is why many women begin showing another signal shortly afterward. Their body starts reducing the distance, music, between the two of you, and that brings us to the next sign, one that reveals attraction, music, not through where she looks, but through where she chooses to place herself when you are nearby. The fourth sign is that she consistently finds ways to move closer to you. Attraction is not only revealed through eye contact, music is also revealed through distance. Human beings naturally create space between themselves and people they do not feel comfortable around. Music. When attraction is present, the opposite often happens. The distance begins to shrink. A woman who is interested in you may lean forward, music, when you are speaking, even when she can hear you perfectly well. She may choose the seat beside you instead of, music, one farther away. In a group setting, she may position herself where she can easily interact with you. These choices, music, seem small, but they reveal where her attention and interest are directed. Watch how her body is positioned during conversation. Music. Is she facing you directly instead of turning sideways? Does she angle her shoulders toward you? Does she lean in when the discussion becomes more personal? These details matter because the body tends to move toward what it enjoys and away from what it wants to avoid. Music. If you're enjoying this conversation so far, make sure you subscribe. We Still Music have some of the strongest signs ahead, and the later signs often reveal attraction that women find much harder to hide. Now, let's continue. Music. Physical closeness is rarely just about physical space. It often reflects emotional comfort as well. Music. When a woman repeatedly chooses to be near you, she is showing that your presence feels good to her. She enjoys being part of your space and sharing moments with you. This becomes even more interesting when her body starts doing something completely unconscious. Without realizing it, she begins matching your movements, posture, and energy. And that is exactly what the next sign reveals. Music. The fifth sign is that she begins mirroring your actions without realizing it. This is one of the most fascinating music attraction signals because it happens almost entirely below the level of conscious awareness. A woman is rarely sitting there thinking, I'm going to copy music, his movements. Instead, her mind naturally starts aligning with the person she feels music connected to. You may notice that when you lean forward, she leans forward shortly afterward. Music. When you cross your legs, she does something similar. If you take a sip of your drink, she follows a few moments later. Music. These small moments seem insignificant on their own, but together they create a pattern, music that psychologists have observed for years. People tend to mirror those they feel comfortable with, connected to, music, or emotionally drawn toward. The mirroring does not stop with body language. It often extends into energy and communication. If you become playful, she becomes playful. Music. If you lower your voice and speak more seriously, her tone may shift in the same music direction. She starts matching the emotional rhythm of the interaction because her attention is fully engaged. What makes this sign music powerful is that it reflects a desire for connection. Her subconscious is trying to create harmony between the two of you. The more she enjoys your presence, the more likely music she is to fall into this natural synchronization without even noticing it herself. Many men spend all their time looking at facial expressions music while missing these deeper indicators. Yet some of the strongest clues are not found in her smile or her eyes. In fact, one of the most honest signs, music of attraction, is something most people never think to look at. And brings us to the next sign where the answer is not written on her face at all. It is written in the direction music her body naturally chooses when you are around. The sixth sign is that her feet consistently point towards you. Most people spend their entire lives paying attention to music faces while completely ignoring one of the most honest parts of body language. The reason this matters is simple. Facial expressions can be controlled. People can smile when they do not feel happy. Music. They can hide disappointment. They can pretend to be interested when their mind is somewhere music else. Feet are different. They often reveal where a person's attention truly wants to be. When a woman feels drawn to you, her body naturally orientates itself, music, in your direction. Even if she is talking to several people at once, you may notice that her feet remain angled toward you. Music. In a group conversation, she may laugh with everyone, respond to everyone, and engage with everyone, but her music body quietly keeps returning to the same focus. This becomes especially noticeable when there are multiple people competing for her attention. If her feet continue pointing music towards you while her conversation shifts around the room, it often reveals where her interest is, music centered. Her subconscious has already chosen where it wants to direct its energy. Of course, no single sign should ever be viewed in isolation. Music. Attraction is about patterns, but when you combine lingering eye contact, physical closeness, mirroring, music and feet that consistently orient toward you, the message becomes much harder to ignore. What makes attraction so fascinating is that music, the deeper it becomes, the harder it is for the body to hide. At a certain point, the signals become more personal. They begin appearing in gestures that reveal both comfort and nervous excitement at the same music time. And that is exactly where the next sign takes us, because some of the most revealing attraction signals happen when a woman starts drawing attention to areas of her body she normally music wouldn't think twice about. The seventh sign is that She touches her neck or collarbone while talking to you. This is one of the most overlooked attraction signals because it appears so natural. Music. Most people assume it is simply a habit. They see a woman adjusting a necklace, playing music, brushing her fingers across her collarbone, or lightly touching the side of her neck and think nothing of it. But in the right context, these gestures can reveal music a great deal about how she feels. The neck and collarbone are naturally vulnerable areas of the body. When a woman feels emotionally stimulated, music, excited, or slightly nervous around someone she finds attractive, her hands often drift toward these music areas without conscious thought. It becomes a self-soothing behavior, a way for her body to release some of the energy music created by the interaction. Pay attention to when it happens. Does she touch her necklace while maintaining music eye contact? Does she lightly run her fingers along her collarbone while listening to you speak? Does the gesture appear when the conversation becomes more personal or when the focus shifts music directly onto her? These details matter because attraction often reveals itself through music timing. What makes this sign even more interesting is that it combines two emotions at once, music. There is comfort because she continues engaging with you. There's also nervous excitement because your presence is creating an emotional music reaction she cannot completely hide. As attraction grows stronger, however, some signals move beyond nervous gestures and become almost impossible music to control. At that point, her body begins reacting before her mind has a chance to filter the response. And that brings us to the next sign, music, one of the most honest indicators of attraction because it happens automatically and cannot be deliberately created. When it appears, it often reveals exactly how strongly music she is feeling in that moment. The eighth sign is that she blushes when she is around you. Out of all the attraction signals we've discussed so far, this is one of the hardest to fake and one of the easiest to trust. A woman can choose her words, music, carefully. She can control where she looks. She can even try to hide her interest behind a calm expression. But blushing often happens before she has time to stop it. When a woman feels emotionally stimulated by someone, her body reacts automatically. Music. Blood flow increases, her cheeks become warmer, and a noticeable flush can appear on her face. Sometimes it happens when you compliment her. Music. Sometimes it appears when she catches you looking at her. Other times it happens when a conversation music suddenly becomes more personal than she expected. What makes this sign so powerful is that it bypasses conscious control. Her body, music, is responding honestly before her mind has a chance to decide how she wants to appear. That is why blushing often catches people by surprise. One moment, music, she feels perfectly composed, and the next moment, her emotions have become visible for everyone to see. Pay attention to the situations that trigger music it. Does it happen when you walk into the room? When you focus your attention directly on her? Say, when someone teases the two of you about being close, the music? These moments can reveal far more than words ever could. And now we arrive at the final sign, music, the one women struggle the most to hide. This is the signal that often appears when attraction has moved beyond simple curiosity music and entered a much more personal space. It is subtle, incredibly revealing. Music. And once you understand it, you will never look at attraction the same way again. The ninth and final sign is that her attention keeps drifting towards music, your lips. This is one of the most revealing attraction signals because it often happens when a woman is no longer focused, music, only on the conversation itself. She is still listening to your words, music, but part of her attention has shifted somewhere more personal. You might notice her eyes briefly move from your eyes to your music lips and then back again. The movement is usually quick, sometimes lasting less than a second, but it happens often enough to create a pattern. Music. In many cases, she does not even realize she is doing it. Her attention is simply following music, her thoughts. This signal becomes even more powerful when it appears alongside other behaviors. Music. She may lightly touch her lips while listening to you. She might press them together, bite her lower lip for a moment, music, or moisten them while maintaining eye contact. None of these actions automatically mean attraction on their own. But when they appear alongside the other music signs we have discussed, they often reveal a much deeper level of interest. What makes this music sign so important is that it often reflects imagined closeness. Her attention is no longer focused only on who you are. Music. It is beginning to focus on what it might feel like to be closer to you. That is why women often find the signal difficult to hide. It happens quietly, without planning, music, and appears before they have time to think about it. Now, before we finish, I want you to remember something important. Music. No single sign proves attraction by itself. A woman may play with her hair because she is bored. Music, may blush because she feels embarrassed. She may lean closer because the room is noisy. The real answer is never found in one behavior. It is found in patterns. Music. When you notice several of these signs appearing together, the picture becomes much clearer. She fidgets around you. She plays with her hair. Her eyes linger. She moves closer. She mirrors your actions. Her music body naturally turns toward you. She touches her neck or collarbone. She blushes. Her attention drifts to your lips. At music that point, you are no longer looking at random behaviors. You are looking at a consistent pattern of attraction. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure you music subscribe and turn on notifications. Here on Personality Psychology with Teal Swan, we explore female psychology, attraction, relationships, and the hidden signals people send every day without realizing it. And before you do music, go tell me in the comments which of these signs you have noticed before. Have you ever realized too late that someone was thinking about you far more than you imagined? Music. Sometimes the biggest clues are right in front of us. We simply need to know how to see them.